Hey everyone, I'm Bill. I'm with Calimoto TV. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to A&S Motorcycles here in Sacramento, California. And today I finally have my hands on a 2020 Multistrada Grand Tour Edition. What makes this bike so grand? Well, it's got all of the luxuries. Not only does it have the bags and the cruise control, but this year they've included heated hand grips, new and improved fog lights, and just a few extra little bits just to make this thing even more grand. So let's take a look around the bike, let's get geared up, let's get on the road, and let's see how this Grand Tour does on the road. All right guys, so we are here on the Ducati 1260 Grand Tour. This thing, now I've been on the Multistrada a couple times. I've been on a couple different style Multistradas. We've been on the Enduro, we've been on the Pikes Peak, we've been on the Standard, but this is the newly released Grand Tour. And well, let's talk about this because I've heard some stuff. Oh yeah, I've heard some stuff about the possibilities of this bike. So let's see, push the lock button, which obviously starts it up. Thank you guys for letting me know I don't have to turn the knob, so we just hit the lock button in sport mode. All right, so let's go ahead and baby, the sound of this. And then Bogna starts up her Ninja 400. I'll tell you, that's a good looking bike. Kawasaki did a good number with that bike. So we're gonna let this warm up for a quick moment. Give me the opportunity to kind of go over the handlebars, heated hand grips. I'm gonna go ahead and turn those on low because, well, if you guys don't know, A&S does have loaner gear. I forgot my gloves today, so we're going to be heated hand grips. And you guys are going to probably say, wait a minute, heated hand grips on a Multistrada? Yes, new option added to the Multistrada for the Grand Tour. So we've got our heated hand grips and of course our ons and offs and locks and everything over here. And away we go, away we go. So definitely got some grunt to it. This thing fired up and whoo, baby, did it sound good. So we've got our quick shifter. Let's talk about quick shifters since we're first thing out. I like the Ducati quick shifters on the Multistradas. All the way across the board, they're pretty good. I really love the BMW quick shifters on like the sport bikes and stuff like that. And my Tiger 1200 has a really good sport quick shifter. But this thing, very nice, seamless. Don't need to be off the throttle to be able to quick shift or downshift with the quick shifter. So some bikes you do have to be off the throttle, which is kind of a pain in the butt for some. So not too bad. Yeah, real nice, real nice. Now the seat is a comfortable position, but it's not very soft. It is a little bit hard, and I feel like I'm on a little bit of a slope, okay? I feel like I want to slide into the tank, but then it kind of comes back up, so it kind of cradles you more towards a sport position, but it's very narrow in the leg area. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Yeah, hard to explain. Now, foot position, peg position, my feet are a little bit more back, okay? So I'm more in a sport bike posture, so to speak. Where I think if you went on more of an adventure style bike, your legs would be up a little bit, your feet would be forward just a teeny bit more. So if I put the heels if I put my heels on the pegs, that's where I would feel more comfortable on a Grand Tour bike. Grand Tour bike, I want to be comfort on the Grand Tour. So Pikes Peak, no, completely different bike. That's got to go back, right? But this, I think the pegs should be coming up a little bit more. And with my feet up a little bit more, the seat feels a bit more comfortable now too, because I'm not kind of in that forward position. Now, bars are a little bit more aggressive style, so I'm kind of leaning a little bit forward. Again, Grand Tour. Remember, we're talking Grand Touring. So we are going to be on the highway with this thing, going on weekend trips and whatnot. I would want to be a little bit more upright. So my pick apart on body position and where you sit, I would think again the Grand Tour would be a little bit more kind of upright. So, but not, I mean, not an uncomfortable bike to be on, but this is kind of the Pikes Peak riding position, which is to be expected for that bike. Now, sound of this thing is just phenomenal. I love the way that Ducati's, obviously, the twin sound. And I'm going to talk to you guys in just a minute about the twins, but let's keep going over our handlebar controls. Obviously, we have our lights flasher there, and then what's nice is if we're looking in the back of the truck, you can see that we've got our headlight controller, so we can actually turn on and off our headlights and our brand new equipped fog lights on the Grand Tour. So that's another new option. Now let's see. Actually, so this is just the fog lights. The headlights are still remaining on. So I can't go too crazy because I got bogged on a 400 back there, so take it a little bit easy. So back down, we've got our hazards, and then we've got our cruise control. So if we want to turn our cruise control on, we're going to hit the center button. Indicates that we've got our cruise control on. Now the BMW, what's nice is that's red until we set it green, and then we set it, and I don't see an indication of where my speed is set. Oh, it's up top, so it's right there. So it would have been nice to be a little bit bigger, maybe over in the corner, but the TFT display is much smaller than the BMW, so the BMW, obviously we got to pack a lot more into that because it doesn't really have the light clusters on the exterior. Our neutral lights and our blinkers and our rev limit lights and our oil lights, check engine lights, trash control lights, all of that is all the lights around the outside, so the screen is much smaller, so we've got to cram more into it down here. So our traction control, go ahead and turn that off. And then we've got our blinkers, obviously, and our high beams down there. And then we can get into our menu where we can go into our different temperatures, miles per gallon, tripometers, average speeds. So we're kind of going right straight through there. And then if we push and hold down the menu button, we go into our sport modes and our mode riding area, so we can go into our suspensions. And what suspension do we want to be in? Do we want to be in single rider with baggage, double rider with baggage? So we are single rider, so we'll go ahead and push enter on that. And then of course, if we push and hold the up button, nope, that's just the suspension down. Our mode button, is this our mode button? That's our horn down there. So not a clear indication of where to change our modes, but I can tell you our heated hand grips are getting a little, oh, that's medium, high, and off. Heated hand grips are getting a little bit warm. So give me a quick second, let me look around and see if I can really modes. Oh, there we go. So we push and hold the mode enter, and then we can go into our touring, urban, enduro, and sport, and then close the throttle. And of course we're still in sport, so I'm a big, so bear with me a teeny bit if you guys are still here after the, you know, I'm a big believer on getting on bikes and knowing how the easeability of getting on a bike and knowing how to be able to change stuff is important, especially for you guys, because you guys are here and it might be the first time that you're on this bike, so we're kind of trying to figure this out together. Some people kind of bash me on oh, you didn't do your research on how to go through the menu buttons, but a lot of times a lot of you guys comment down below. So if you guys haven't commented down below already, please comment down below. Is there something that I should know about these bikes? Let other people know, because that's really what it's all about. I'm on these bikes for, you know, a 20-minute test ride, so, and we're on multiple bikes. So just 20 minutes ago I was on a BMW and now I'm on a Multistrada, so thank you for bearing with me is all I'm trying to say. So let's get into more of a kind of a toned down, let's get into touring mode, because I would really like a little bit softer right now suspension. And then of course when we are in there, it gives us our traction control, ABS control, our dynamic wheelie control. So those are all changeable, which is very nice to be able to change that option. So if we click in, and then you can see all of these numbers over here, so you can kind of close throttle, because obviously I picked that, but you can go into those different settings. And I should have probably gone, but bye Bogna. She raced through on her 400. Sorry, babe. One of the things that I feel like the brake is adjusted pretty far out. Oh, there we go. All right, so there's pretty good adjustment. That much better. They the levers are really far out, kind of stock. So let's bring these in a little bit. There we go. Much better. So nice adjustable bar levers. So very nice. Of course, Brembo brakes. Oh, hill start assist. All right, let's get up. So bike does have hill start assist, so that's nice. You know, sometimes it's nice just to be, when you're at the stoplight, to be able to just pull hill start assist, because sometimes you don't necessarily need to be on the hill to make that useful. Sometimes you're just on that little bit of incline and you're like, man, I should be just being able to just kind of relax right now. Pull that lever all the way back, let it go, and it turns on your hill start assist, which is up there. And then on the BMW, at least, you pull it again and it would release it, or just kind of let off the throttle, get on the throttle, let off the clutch, and it kind of lets you start. As soon as it starts to roll, lets off. So very nice. Width completely covered. I've got my feet, my heels up, so now I feel like a Grand Tourer. But let's talk about the rumor mills. Let's talk about why this might be so grand, why this bike might be the grandest bike to buy. There is rumors. They are not confirmed yet. They are only rumors that the Multistrada is going to be releasing a third class motor. Now, we already have the 950 Multistrada, which I need to get on because I haven't been on the 950 Multistrada, so I'm going to get on that probably next time around. I've been on the 1260 Twin Multistrada, I've been on the Enduro, I've been on the Pikes Peak, I've been on the Standard, and I've been on the Grand Tourer. But again, what makes this so grand? The Grand Tourer and the Pikes Peak might be getting an engine upgrade to the new V4 motor. That's right. They have released, let's just say someone kind of dropped it in a press conference that the Multistrada might be getting a V4 motor. Now, obviously, you wouldn't put the V4 motor in the Enduro. So the thought is that the 1260 twin will continue on also the base model and the Enduro model, because you don't need crazy horsepower in the Enduro, right? Just bury the back wheel into the dirt. So the twin would make sense on the Enduro. But the Grand Tour and the Pikes Peak, imagine this thing with like 160, 170, 190 horsepower, however much this V4 might possibly have. So this might be the last opportunity to have the twin 1260 touring. So something to keep an eye out. It's a rumor mill. It's not a confirmed, but I have heard a little bit of talk about it. So stay tuned for that. And Ducati's growing their lineup huge. They're releasing so many different new bikes. So for them to expand it out there, you would think, would they? And then you think, why not? Why not? That Pikes Peak, man, that would be the bike. Now the Grand Tour, the touring style bike, needed? Nah. Nice? Yeah. So we'll see how that ends up. So the 2020 Grand Tour, this is it's a fine bike. It sounds amazing. A vibration, teeny bit of vibration. It's nothing major, but there is definitely a bit of vibration. But again, nothing major. But if I had to compare Grand Touring, if I had to compare the Multistrada to the Tiger 1200 to the GS 1250, you know, it's hard to be unbiased, because I love that Tiger 1250 hill start assist. I love the Tiger 1200. I own it. The thing is butter. The suspension, you know, it's so cush, and when you go into like comfort mode on that bike, it's like, man, it's like a Cadillac. And you go excuse me, you go into the sport mode and that thing tightens up. And man, me and Bogna 2 Up, we were railing up at Alice's so much that I actually did some footage up there, and Bogna pulled the plug on it. But that bike handled amazing. So it's hard to be unbiased, because I really love that bike. So I would put that bike up on top. I'll put that bike at number 1. I think overall, hill start assist. I think this is probably my next up. I would probably go with this. The reason I would go over this, then that, God, that's a hard pull. The GS 1250 is such an amazing bike, and there's so much that I love on the GS 1250. Like the TFT display, I say this is second. I'll knock down the Tiger. The Tiger's TFT display is not as nice as this one and the Tiger are kind of running up. But well, it's a rare sight, but it happens. Definitely feel we're in touring mode, and the kind of suspension's a little bit wobbly. Yeah, it's a tough one. You know, look, at the end of the day, they're all absolutely amazing, all absolutely great bikes. You know, going up right next door, we've got the 1250 right next door, so this is nice. We can kind of get a look. Hit the key. Shuts this off. so we can kind of do a little side-by-side with the 1250. 1250 is definitely going to be a taller bike, the BMW. And then, of course, we've got our Triumph over there. So, much lower bike, you can see, over the BMW. BMW is much, much taller. Just overall, the BMW is such a bigger bike. So I think for a shorter person, for someone more manageable, this is going to be a better bike than this. If you're a taller person like me, that might be a better bike. Pros and cons either way. But that Tiger 1200, you know, we're kind of right in between. You know, it's got very good suspension. It's got very good, you know, everything. So it's hard. It would be hard. Again, I'm biased to the 1200 Tiger, but between these three, if you were just coming off the street, it really becomes a preference. Brembo fronts, I mean, I'm kind of rambling about this, but it's just, it's hard because they're all great bikes. So, but this is, I would say looks-wise, this is the bike. If you're looking at bikes, this is the bike, and I kind of like the beef of that. I like the rideability of that one. So anyways, guys, we're back here. Bogna's waiting for me. How is a 400? She's like, it's time to roll. She's running her Ninja 400. So we're back here at A&S, and thank you again. If you guys please would hit that like button, it means more to us than you know. And of course, hit that subscribe button and leave me a comment down below. Tell me how much you love the Multistrada over. Tell me why, if you've owned each of these, tell me why you would get either one of them. So give me your guys' opinion. All right, so we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.